Where sure say then you government in there.
WW school in there.
Okay.
Until the University of Ghana Stadium. The Ghana of Ghana when
about me Kubiano. Why are there?
By send you on the vice president.
Yes.
It's a ceremonial person.
And you we are taught Senaka on me by tea Kufonum Jomama.
Nifemono.
Yes.
Nifemono. That's uncommon invite to be. Also, Krumano. You need politics in you. You need politics. It's a story, baby.
Yes, a hand. I don't know.
And you were Juma Yapa, paying for Bassa. Bama, yes, Juma Yafro, yeah.
It's a local spectator, no swam. That's Nana Kwame Bidiako. Sites for poverty. Yeah, shut up.
Okay.
Site for poverty makes him cry. Nah, I say.
Na you need ni group ni then
New Force.
New Force.
I say me see one of the interview he say at the age of 11 or 12 years no free Kumasi man crying.
11 years.
Yeah.
Obe then.
Na e bi om so me see say or I think not ton scraps or abuchi.
Yeah. Yes. Was it scraps no kind of money the first $1 million?
Yes.
Yeah.
Scrap
is come. You see an yen ever scrap the less.
Yes. That's
I don't say scrap for now. Was jai nam me ton so na benyeska. Was na me ton atwo na benyeska. Obi aton atwo. Oh, emfifi ho no. Yen can't only see you.
So we say we say the 30 city. We say the 3 million.
Na scraps and croffa ton okruma. Ebi ane dey need difference. Any dey need approach scraps. But he's a fine gentleman.
Of course.
I love me penny vim. Ne send you tie no. But let's speak to a seminar kind Kwame. Yentimi brushing aside.
Oh, so
set the site of poverty.
Yes, who say onyan kasa
me. He makes sense with that.
Onya ye beyi, onya ye
that be onya more than sin beyi Kwame.
Yes.
And onya more than sin bro Sam.
Because senior when ohotchero ana enyan ewo sika fem
ahotchero enye
and I say ohotchero a odana bofra
ahotchero enye
yes so I pray say wa utie no
ahotchero enye
ma ahotchero bi
because
ahotchero ade a enye
kwa me mo papa we din engu nanim ase ba me bo ahye na onyam eye Reverend Edward Akwesi Boatin.
Okay
your boy ade a me pe nyina ono so na bo entie o se eni atisem hunu echi
yeah
won say nansan issues bi aba e kire se bi papa ko form kakra enu po de se abrabo de efro ene esane na o hwe situation na hwe se ni bi mo kan se bitafra che aye bi mo dwen se e bia wo tena mu a anetui because se bi enya ho kire anka ugidi se je wurei obi o so no 17 cars then the year mu kwa bruche ni ade ne ho akire no anka obeba TV so say bia oba beka sensemi eti aho kire de kwam enye egu ni pene mu ase
aho kire but unim me have issue with them yen celebrities now say omo kire omo na afi adane say omo a business car or public
I don't know you have problem with
yes,
them.
have issues currently e bi di there na dey be dey no what some boy be no but when they go into poverty when be trauma then they'll come back to us say they I may agree with you on one leg because they are saving culture but Kwame tiadi Jenia we Mauritia
Budon
yes some artists say amount for your contribution at the man share Mauritia lifestyle na fa compare well me about Aja Bintu lifestyle I think Emrana Mauritia Jina na so na Okoba no say yes obusi bibia kama the same lifestyle na Aja Bintu mebwa nti ene se nipa ne ntimi ansevi yi yen kase bibi nsi o na nipa ne ntimi ye hu so oboa society oboa nyanka oboa mo a homo kire o na ne hu okwa ho kire mu a what people will be asking say emra na udaka kesie mu na uko Dubai u chiche twamfoni e de cheche eyi sebe oto che se sika ni na o de ye den so we are telling our celebrities say but emra omujino mo na so na bibia cause na amofo helium no they should make sure say omebo society they should make sure say ombe save say be amoso kwa anwuchire mu a amafo be kai.
Okay, I stand for correction but kwa maybe me say krom ha and omam ha your collection agencies yan krofoku bia wamuje royalties ema especially celebrities into for instance so for instance Gamru omuje ma anyomtofo copy Ghana omuje ma wonu a etro ehoma ana minim say aso konso na ejema odu visual for there I don't know omudin
but
kwamba bisa say won royalties no sen anetie because oko amanonia kwam obi timi bo enwom ever say ba ko bienu bi omo nwum biem obedi de ho a but we have celebrities at in Ghana obetro say oh afemu no nyina ni Agamro di ma me 50 Ghana cedis
sina I say no
because sometimes you cannot blame them
no
bisa
say our system, our structures in you can say property copyright we it saying and then my bonchum and you na my radio stations there how many radio stations do they log in HSA and then my bonchum 10 and then my bonchum 20 and then these are the kind of songs are me boy how many radio stations and bisa say hotels, pubs, radio stations, and they care do they pay royalties? Do they pay?
No. So but sometimes also, radio station, TV stations, no. We should also TV stations, radio stations be bringing so royalties in court.
Yes,
and I think it's a Gamro needs from they are not cracking the whip. You see, copyright system, copyright.
So, and you said they are not cracking. But
if they are cracking the whip, about the same will be at Tonyum. So obi timi tunyu bebre ni amano afini nyina yesi amano 5,000 cedis
unim me say there's a law backing them say ofu obi ade da de yade say omano anyway royalties fine but eso mu share mra no mukina now one in the sense that say taxes bebre enam kwam ebobonjom pen drive
ni nyina eso mu
Essending na no minimum say there's a certain tax be edaso sa pen drive ne external ne
if you call you book photocopy cry you must pay copyright.
Yes,
but the copyright law makes room for fair use.
But who's a hano the stretches are not there say walk rana yintimi ye because obi beton jom almost 20-30 years na okoje royalties na obekono you say 500 cedi but only be a book match no only be a book match no now even though he or she doesn't deserve that but sign our books them so what can they do
is it also so many systems are omode gigiana me nim say be a systems no technologically effective enough
on say I think say oko abrochia the system no ho yi Intina, she say most of the musicians in the Brady Omonjum eto most of the way I can say internet platforms.
Okay.
So I don't know obi download onjum obi ti onjuma there's a certain amount omunya. So I say omuna shift away from say a musician be bonjum now say o jina bomenjum.
Yeah.
And because and then the presenters and DJs in the class so send your music account or no why not there no that then bro
no so obi you see your system ideally even radio stations and TV stations yeah na yesanki etua omo yebo omo nyumka
oh yeah of course
but in our system no DJ no kura na ejius ka sabi nya DJ fo nyina nete sa sabi DJ phone mu bi and ebe jius kan san wa bonyum which is against your copyright content. Oh, anti system no anga no I don't know maybe ye ku ye no ebe but kwame wo hwe gold diamond bauxite any niema ye war it makes sense say kwame bi akon e ka say the sight of poverty makes him cry Me Ghana Kresanka every month. We are Ghana near. We found Ghana card any bank of your choice. A quadruple 400 Ghana cities good button.
Our politicians are very, very greedy.
Most of them.
Most. Because I don't get it when a politician would say, Watina Ubia Watina Buchi, Wakusku, Waye Juma ho, Wabobra ho, na onim abuchi system. Na also all free or abagana, abe implementing the same thing.
Yeah.
Na omado duha. The bemo makunya na kotina kunyano so. Na omukwa. Na omadana deno ama sika omenye ni na aba omonche no mubusia ho. Niwa obi wo abanjunum. No, I don't get it when the president the first gentleman.
Yeah.
Ni pay. Eswa. Obi ono ye Cocobot.
Yeah.
CEO. GNPC.
Yeah.
CEO.
Yeah.
Ghana Cars.
Yes.
CEO.
Yeah.
Name them.
O mind be bodamasa.
Na onu pay.
Yeah.
That's to say
because Article 7 look, if you heard more, my say in those companies or institutions na bo me no. A board no by law they determine monument.
Chairman,
and no remuneration so.
Chairman,
but president the parliament. No, I agree.
How can the president who appointed you?
But it's the fault of the constitution. The fault of Umrano.
You what him? Name appointed.
Yeah. No, what they use to Alaji. Alaji Amemejuma. It's salary. I don't say Alaji.
How? Na uko shinyama. Omoji. Entertainment allowance.
Almost special skill. Because Bank of Ghana governor, me no can say. The salary every month 1.3 billion.
How?
It is 1.3 billion every month. And only a salary 1.3 billion.
Oh God.
Are one or two
unim. Let's plead with young Papa John Dramani Mahama say we do a bar. Onya they say that. Obi enu obedi pay say no.
As in president.
But sometimes I don't get it.
No, sometimes they talk of a special skill.
What special skill? Okotinan Cocoa board ho. Now will be almost 600 million, 700 million, 70,000.
Yeah, a month.
80,000. Okotina Bank of Ghana.
Yeah, GNPC.
VRA, ECG,
Senate. Oh, baby, now come my way there. It's kind of near the Piaka.
Because
I know what you're saying.
Ose,
as I won't take what Miss Oso just saying.
Ose about 743.
Oh, master say Kufa.
And they I say,
that's how Casso be just 600 million. I know BG one when I'm so what you saying.
I mean me a private person. No, say the homogeno. And the homogeno. Me o come the boom 10 years. 10 years.
So come
o come years o come the 10 years boom. So what if inti alumna I'm a poverty no because say if okobrani edge 80,000 a month.
Yeah.
Yet to take the tax fee mukra
me 70,000 president eskabi aujibia you bet him have onye djuma na kwatran so bi be.
No, me dey say o ye president oba say president edge 30,000 a month. So that's o 30,000 a month. Obia NG below. O ye wan. Na hwe say ye tete saska wing na so na say ye de boa amanfo a
you beat me. Mami, last story na me 10 minutes be. And then me person me kasa fa 24 hour economy. Mr. Griffith Abedru.
Yes.
Former National Identification Authority boss. Mira Hanum. Some more follow me. Abra free SHS. Nana Akufo-Addo Kasa obe nationalizing no. And let me remind you, enye Nana Akufo-Addo na di free SHS buy, don't be deceived. Me can no crash it. Ni o share free SHS ase wo Ghana, ye frɛ no Osaje for Kwame Nkrumah. Was share with the 3 northern regions. E ho na free SHS ase e share. We enu free on mo a. The next person a wo be share mu kina John Dramani Mahama. he started with free senior high school, but not a day. And you know, see e-blocks, you know. But even before John Dramani Mahama, no, my young man penny JJ Nukufu Abaso, our boy, Emma primary unit, you know, and so you free with the government. Until you primary JHS, then also you free. JJ Rollins Nukufu Bebuai, yes, Edgeman. And son of Mahama so bad, or say, only Article 25, or see if you say, Yahoo Dimbe to me, Yabua. Na Yahuma Suyano, Yakwe the Min Free, or also starting with free SHS, but Nidiano, a day, a John Hamadiano. And Kufa so buy on nationalized free SHS, including boarding. It's an Anakufa the Jumo year and Nakwese, or Mampeni Kufo by year mutual health insurance. Saturn Ukra, or Mampeni Kufo health insurance card na a limited to the confines of a district. 87 Gais district, mean to mean fan national health. Some mutual health insurance card no enko me mikro musi no fanti akwasat enye adwuma ana atame so buy a running for the currency and on nationalize national health insurance it's afraid the ukra one card utimi ko nyankpanduru hospital the same card utimi ko bi wotachimai the same card ubetimi de akọ Jamestown the same card ubetimi de akọ mikro machimusi no eti enupi na esia na Akufo-Addo came to nationalize free SHS. John Dramani Mahama started here and a day. Now listen. Time wherever no, who follow anybody who say, na Otudako, I am one of the journalists. You supporting free SHS agenda because a good. It's even though say the NDC phone be can say, and a free SHS one, you jira na so you can correct to me. Say munya sansem no, munya sanyama Sata mu abam mo mako schools akase we bruchire be ka kire say free say munya sane man but enumpo na people like John Mahama and some other people when this were not even saying say be good but they were saying something kakra say the better implementation be better because nyentia John Mahama must start to see e-blocks for they say free SHS the bar e be increase the intake it will need the needed infrastructure to accommodate them and on a day say red gold green system no eba no because free SHS no buy no obi a person go school but school die no way eti enkanana Akufo-Addo esa nkotwa John Dramani Mahama e-blocks no so sini bebre na e bia nkan second term no wa implement free SHS by then infrastructure do no we no could accommodate the free SHS but anya sa now in the same vein and a 24-hour economy biba and there are a lot of naysayers especially Mati MP before pennyphobia when put these big projects, sir, and that's what we are there. We bet Ghana such game changer. But who say a big cassette and I'm asking, sir, and think was it the brain among some phone you be do kruma. National Employees Association pay the catch they say. 1 year can say, Mapu bien way better for a jumum. Was it Babu bien way better for a jumamo? Because baby ever form a jumanina, and what choku, and what blocky. Ghana and penny for Uncle Massy Sum, Kufa Bush and 4 year drum 1 ma. It will be over to my room. Then you have a gentleman in the person of John Dramani Mahama. Makacho say you be in the in case you be in the Ghana, but the credit Makacho. So he want to introduce a 24-hour economy. If we say 24-hour economy, no, and your papa. And Crawford saying now, Bebrako school. And Crawford saying now, Bebratino Brochino. They know say 24-hour economy no applicable in a lot of countries in the world. And then more 10 minutes to address this. I'll be brief. Countries like China engage in 24-hour economy and a bomb papa. Oh, let me come home. Countries like South Africa, they are engaging in a 24-hour economy. Eti denti na ese trawo na amanyosem hununti obi tun futuro gu yani say 24-hour economy no enya ade abeboa. Oba na otifie no say 24-hour economy na ba ana adwuma abua nchenka oba na onya adwuma nye. Our joining Crawford mo di diamin ekense munu esan power say na be ya they will escape accountability. Now let me tell you, again a 24-hour economy. Me John Dramani Mahama dream, and I don't even want to go by John Dramani Mahama policy. Maybe church them per the research I'm here. 24-hour economy no engine na who are doing a free their name 24. o Facebook ashema me ye man no kura ni ndi ntro no so ye hwe to me anim ne ka no kura ntra me na no pe eti ye nyina ye nim se yesi abaya dwuma de ye kon 8 hours eti okọ anopa na wotwe a ye se nyimre no onum no aponye sa eno no ye 8 hours economy temiye eti ye ka 24 hours economy a ne ye kire ne se eye non stop working economy eti kire se obi ko 8 hours na wo pon ye no e ka sankro fofoforo bi so ba 8 hours no mo pon so mo so ko 8 hours no mo pon wa esa say 8 times 3 remember 24 you have the last set of people mo so ba 8 hours no mo pon it means to say anka enipa e say 8 hours pen and crofo ye juma this time no ye benya 8 hours baako ne yase anya 8 hours mienu ne yase anya 8 hours miensa it ye benya 24 hours working movement na ode ye samas we be more simple mass ye mfa ne say Ghana say sia enipa e maburu ye fa so de ode enipa ye juma ode abaya juma krampo de enu 1 million but ma me for private sector nkan nti evan so de nipa e kura juma out of 30 million enipa o de omo active service evan say 10 million sancro for 10 million wo mudu do no a 90% or more within the 8 hours bracket tell me here more be another 80 sa 10 million juma in the first 8 hours bracket no say ebaya 24 hours economy a tire say ebaya 10 times 3 it is that sank nipa 10 million per juma for 8 hours no this time no you be nipa 30 million occupying the 24 hour economy because medical tell you say first 10 million ba be juma for the first 8 hours oma pon coffee oma jom sika gombosom ombotom now the next 10 million abaya juma for the next 8 hours 8 plus 8 making 16 hours no mo so jom sika no mo coffee then the last set of 10 million people so ba your juma for the last 8 hours making 24 no mo so jiska egombotom it is 10 million no a na e wo hono mo a e bi omo yadwuma no e ba be double aye times 3 also in pay na opedin no I'm asking who's won pay na opedin and I hear people saying say 24-hour economy no e wo hono mo de da now listen free SHS ba no na wo de da so do we say or must we say yemfa asidani nyina ma jo Mahama so start free day school na because na ku fa do free SHS ba na free SHS wo de da in fact ansana Mahama credit start free SHS no na Kwame Nkrumah start free SHS so what are you talking no I started primary free primary what are you talking about asaba me cannot say so the fact is say ya what hospitals be and now some few companies be every day through the 24-hour economy and making a 24-hour economy. Don't forget, we can't tell mutual health insurance. The fact is that Kufobe mutual health insurance na saka the yejuma district per district. Ain't mean cross district in Chesana Ghana or national health insurance. Because sanka Kufo mutual health insurance no and unkwana ya and katamels any national health insurance. So the fact is that some companies work Ghana 1 or 2 we operate a 24-hour economy. In Ghana, we operate a 24-hour economy system. And let me show you quickly. So I'll go China, go and do your research. And yet China, there will be an 24-hour economy. Major cities, major province in China, and a 24-hour economy. But the difference is that it increases people. It enhances employment. My friend from South Africa. And maybe I'll run you through some of the sectors. Me patch on Facebook I share me same way me person crofoti especially akronfono akronfono wi esika no sa akronfono monsa no muntie. Now listen. Nyedikan adewin and SCHA even using the South African model as an example. The simple mass are much lower. No? And as I want a 24-hour economy now, they're from the shift system. That is how I call it, from the shift system. Sesiano, the unemployment deficit in in the next, Kwame, 5 minutes in my way. 5 minutes. Another 3 minutes. 5 minutes. The unemployment deficit. So say you have 14.7%. And yes, sir. It's a 14.7%. So can we imagine, say nipa 10 million, say na me kind of way Juma Ghana says here. Because a 8-hour system. Now see a 24-hour. All this 14.7%, you know, they will be consumed by the 24-hour economy. It means that you will have very little people at any Juma Ukroma. I didn't pay Juma. When say your recreational centers, Juma Najo. But only to be Juma because and some of these areas, yeah, beaches. Night beach, night beach. Night beach, correct power. But how can you operate night beach in this country? Because only security. How can you operate night beach in this country? Because there be a pharmacy there or pharmacy. How can you operate a night beach in this country? And not possible because a quality is soon. And John Dramani Mahama say some of these sectors, for instance, in area of tourism, no, say beach be operating, for instance, and yes, I know about say beach be operating and apart to enumerate. Now be a bedroom 10 or power. This time no young pound beach no more operating from an apart to the next 24 hours. Near amount security. 80 say a beach, ever say beach be a friend nipa be 100. What it means is say beach be a friend nipa 300 because this time about 24 hours, 100 times 3. Look at the number of beaches I walk, even in Accra. Number of youth saying the beach may employ them. Let's do the manufacturing companies. And your manufacturing company be an age manager. A big one of baby almost and chromosome. At the employment level, no, a baby cosro. 1 year to one baby, and I hear the say and Crawford University, the piano in the Jumania. I don't hear Dana. It is a new year that they are. And into the young man support 24-hour economy. Send a bay, Juma Boo, I'm Crawford Jumaya. The former General Secretary of Femi Pikachu said, Omo Beja Juma, a Juma Babu Ghana, Momba Club, Fokura Baby, a Juma, Efra Monania Bay Juma Ghana, and then a Juma away. World Bank report, Statistical Service report, any other international report say there are a lot more youth being pushed under the poverty line. Oh, these are some few areas, metro, financial sector, bank, the fact is, we'll be operating today, we cannot start. Because, say, Yakomakola market, for instance, not the Biomo Yajuma, not beaches Yajuma Najo. Nightclub gusu ye juma najo. There are other schools come back evening classes. Definitely so business scanning a put one first scanning coffee because I come for back or night bank. Wow, so these are areas you never to be abua. That's our 24-hour economy no ayejuma. What it needs is government support. And John Mahama has promised they are going to give security. But my senior he's going to provide security and it's any money. Well, it is a year in South Africa. It's good. And go become 24-hour economy. And then trust a trouble in your 24-hour economy. So answer. Now China more and your trouble in 24-hour economy. But even though you bet me a trouble on a 24-hour economy. Restaurant in Yampong, a Jumabu, Mabrubania Jumaye, or Beata to the Roman in Moscow are still or no feeding the battle. Maybe one day, measuring a special time. Number one, I say what the 24-hour economy means. Send your young movie support to free SHS. No, you best support to 24-hour economy. See support to free SHS. No man, no kufa do buyer. You best support to free SHS. I'm on your say. You best support to 24-hour economy. I'm on your so about 24-hour economy. Or have the president do what to implement this policy.
Dum sono. Se ukoya ukamwa semwa na enkofo draw comparison say and at JM no we had 3 years of Dum so. And a very important say be share free ho. Dear hunu dear ekofa sa Dum so no e de bae. Say Dum so no se ohwe enkroma time wa ye akosombo no na enko betime use one turbine pe based on the power need for that current year no our year akosombo no and so create several of the turbines.
Okay.
And the reason was that odwen hwe kan say enche bia no ebe ehu be bamfa so say Ghana ha be bia tokru bia mun kakane abewo na aboa ama oman no tumpon. And the generation capacity will create here no na a broad you hear no immediately no so. Now under JM no, two things happened. One, if you remember the gas pipeline from Nigeria, a pioneer, which was an act of God. A feed the plants emma yenya power. A pioneer JM abandon from so and the man basa.
So on control pipeline.
Exactly. And it is not even running through Ghana alone.
Yeah.
A idea running from Nigeria at the Ghana. That's number one. Number two, a lack of generation capacity. Say ye na ya tum say ebia ye wo enyinam kanea ebia pim. Na sa enyinam kanea pim no. Eno na ye yusu ewo man mu. Na edi kan no na eye ebia regional capital sankwa na yusu. Enti say no omu yusu bia emu 500 pe. Ena abanya hodo I buy free a teacher JJ Rollins aban so. The bepims man penning JDM time no. Obia efa the akanibia no atrim. Inti ye trim ni na na say apem no sa. Apem dem ye mfa to keko. Enti just generation capacity ya apem a. Eno an ye di bi ko funifuni. Ne di bi akoda aban. Near the bee come am chimsy, near the bee qua, ye take more money in anya bin to bedroom baby no. Let us say a tremwa baby a decania codruno. A beer ye hear and pin you, and so you are pimpe in terms of generation capacity. And tis a nature say, I was set ye building infrastructure in the energy sector, a bit mere a generate more power. Amasa apem no a etosini no yakova apem ni nyina ene bi kura yatra enti a hiti during JM time no otu ho anamon say obekreti generation capacity ohwemu a ehọ na car power ships de ho anwan ni adade amere ni ho anwan nyina eba on stream we ka hye nyame anmunyam say ansana JM ebe free power no. Now we have excess capacity. 2016, end of 2016, we were at the verge of exporting power. In fact, eventually, Ghana exported power. Which says we can't do that because demand na grow. Because demand keeps growing. Grow akomiti the current year one. So we can't export anymore. So we are no longer exporting power. Good. And that is what created the Dumso during JM time. And to want to be far from Sono and fam more JM say, or no kofa Dumso ye day, a buy, because no man you know. Ye say, I trade demand mu ama bro your generation capacity so, and ye JM, a buy what do I buy the time in a bit here. And gas pipeline is also no, and no kubuno, a woman not money. I just say gas bill. And to want to be fast from Sono, but okay, say he will take responsibility and his own words. If I may quote him, say I will fix the problem. So we had excess generation capacity, and we have been enjoying that since he left office. Now I want to state, say, when I was listening to the State of the Nations address, Omampani Eka Assembly. Say, we have managed to keep the lights on. What did they do? You haven't even added 1 megawatt of power to the generation capacity. It means the same mistake we are repeating it. Okay, MPP for buy no. So take up a contract when we are generating excess capacity which we don't need in the other no. And necessary capacity need demand na be pay. It is only logical say by tomorrow now we have a deficit in generation. Because we started from surplus. We are now at par. It is only logical say by tomorrow we will have a deficit. So current government should be thinking about what do we do if our demand go beyond the current capacity. And that is not what is happening at the moment. Say me no say ECG is sharing between 300 to 500 megawatts of power on daily basis. The difference this time they say
at the south region here no.
The difference this time they say instead some baboy amani say yenya problem yentimi to a friend say adwen no oil no emfa engineer inti no say ye ho kire yen enti de betimi agenerating inti say no the difference oh ha expect say e bi adwada o light back off na most of more than someone a brand am light back off now what in their plan or life no one man sa and now halfway there's no plan nothing. In fact time now o man pani gina parliament all can say what they've managed to keep the light on the ground. Now my lawyers have a crying light me say am light e wo botwe dansuma no area ho nyina na edum light kuma se no na etirem bebre dama ngoro nyina na edum kanea managed to keep the light on na edum kanea. And I think that sa dum so ne abey no it has nothing to do with the factors a creative dum so during the time JDM time no I heard the breaking of the West African gas pipeline and then also a friend said demand exceeding a friend's generation. This has to do with the recklessness in managing the oil sector.
Okay, but honorable, over to us, but they share a way holistically with a nationalistic spectacle. Somewhere around late 90s, you know, JJ time, not doom so.
Yes.
Somewhere around 2006, 2007.
Yes.
Under Kufuor. Dum so ba no kra na obeka Kufuor ma asofo kobo mpaye wo dam num se nsu mrem no. Then fast forward to John Mahama so time. Dum so by.
Yeah.
Nana Kufuor time. Dum saba. Don't you think say emra so say as on mine yenya say this is 70 MPP blame sem na like what again yenya the right e won mo na dum saba because aba JJ time. Dum saba Kufuor time. Aba Mahama time and then Aba Kufuor time and then the children say in the future. What are we not getting right as a country?
What we are not getting right as a country, I am you know. The other kind JJ time Ebesi Kufuor time no. We blamed the quarter level on Akosombo for the doomso.
Okay.
It drew baby ma sabi openusi yama insua na even kura ewo amama so a ewo krom so a wonum enom
okay
esabi esinu adwade no kura bi bebrewe
that is
every quarter
JJ time
during Rollins time
okay
and yes and na just water level no in Akosombo no so had been affected to the level say there is capacity to generate because oshade no generation of power through the dams no generation of whatever kind of electricity has to do with a coil moving in a magnetic field. See the magnet atwa mini magnet atwa na wires ya chichire wire na wire no move a generate electricity through the wires so on meche no. Now the difference between thermal plants and hydro plants in one here, what moves that coil? What moves the coil in hydro plant they say ya mansuo fro bepo na adanya begu bibiti se fan so na etene na your friend turbine nti se no tene a na etene coil no
na generate
ana thermal plant no so
let me announce the presence of Courage no nekweku Mira Ekasama NDC. Akwaba.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You share check, but you share the any share.
I'm happy to see myself home. What peace.
Yeah. 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 Akwaba. Honorable.
And the case of a thermal plant, they have more or less something like an engine that starts, burns fuel. Well, let me say it's internal combustion engine, kind of. When it burns the fuel, it rotates the turbine, not generate electricity. No. So the whatever it is, no, it has to do with a coil or a conductor moving.
In
so no, a what did a cofoma. Now the fall no power na deba 10 turbine on so annual brass.
So can I give a layman a meaning how it's applicable because me energy person. But I'm just applying common sense.
Right.
It may not pass, but forgive my ignorance. Say in so somebody it's not possible say a pass as a young temple and whatever. Now you into 2 boreholes, thousands of them, near connected through a common pipe will be. Now I mean you realize this in so echo for ma.
Yes, I so no be the eka.
Okay, in so be no
in so to say river be and one its natural existence no. It's an ibipo.
It you go to a bipo way.
I so no better flows I don't know how it operates.
I don't know how it operates.
It's a waterfall.
Okay, so how can be a waterfall? So let's create our waterfall.
Sentina,
can't we create it?
The water head, no one goes to money at the no. And you see, even on that same river, no, or build another dam or upstreamer, you affect the potency of the fall down downstream. So on the channel.
Okay.
Entina rolling star, I'm Burkina for a year. Some dam be the buffy papa because it has an effect on us. So anyway, not only the effect of the waterfall, but also the spilling of the water. You know, more or less brought excess water into our ear, make it a problem. So good. And you know, it's not just anything like that. It's the nature of the river at Nyangopo. No. So if it happens, say it's unable to be say it gives that potential energy now. Ebeman aba shedam no so rotating fast na ahodin mu no and it me yes idea.
Okay.
So very good.
Okay.
In the Wallace time and Nekufo time no they were actually looking at Akosombo as the major source. So ni meche no and relying on nature say Nyankopon adaroma opena asiem hayen. And open some of them were not normal. Internet hit at certain peak times, no. And open no ding pa ne ba a mass doom so no yede a buy. But beyond that, successive governments looked at let us create buoy dam, let us create thermal plants and day to support the Akosombo. So that even though hydropower is the cheapest form of power and the most environmentally friendly source of power because it doesn't burn any fossil fuel, no. It is also important to keep generation capacity at par with demand. So I'm saying, I'm saying,
no, but when you go on my technical, I want to make so it's okay.
And you know, the actual person who sat down accepted the problem as it is and then devised a solution and solved the problem AGM because he said that let's look at nipa otna se ehwe say ade pa na edi edam ewo enyinam kaneam ene say de ehia no yentimi generate de ehia no enti o say me ma won ma generate no me ne won sign contract ma bebre beka ho ne enya generation capacity no more ebe buru demand no so sebe ya de ehia bia no e na afa so no ye dwenhwe kan no oman no ko nanim enti no de ehia no se na eye taku a ebe ye simple adache enti no ye generate even more than what we need obi o tools ana mo no pa ayo omampanyin dada John Dramani Mahama woni tools ana mo no. Now I've told you say the gas pipeline that broke together with this a friend say shortage in generation capacity were the main issues under his and we created generation capacity to the extent that we were even net exporters of power into other neighboring countries. So only mention. And I will my as I speak to you now, 1 for generation capacity 1 megawatt crank down. Baku crank down. And now I don't want to swear oil na 1 more day a year generation says a 1 month to be in Tiaka. A business okay say Parliament they cut 20 something million
23 million
Ghana cedis. Ningi na no you say we boy kwade ekotrem so on meche no say if we have a prudent way of managing our energy sector, government should be paying its bills. Government should be paying its bills so that money in effect comes to buy oil instead of saying there be any pay baby akobobosi ana ekoji sika o baby dia beton oil no. We could have rather paid our bills and use that money to buy the necessary oil to power our thermal plants. So this is where the problem is. And because of lack of not generation capacity, but a generator, generator, it's just that common. It's not that simple to say generator will fear. So
it's a plant.
It's a plant. It's a whole plant, thermal plants. So, men find say plants, it's a generator, no wolf, or mine generator. It's only me. Now, generators, if you so, yes, can't top a room from says an aqua. Any criteria. And it is more or less within the energy sector, how financing has been managed.
But say, I buy a doom CC, the doom so my.
Oh, and I said, yes, where you will be say, you could because you have one more here. I mean, it's one I can ask him. What I said, is equal to say, I did say, you know, what can you say, Sam's a ben fear me, new. I still are you doom CC. Eh, say, a cobassa, say,
be a sending a moment time. Munya protracted a period of doom so about 3 to 4 years. Maybe at this time, no, so because doom CC.
So protracted doomson. So MPP4 then can quench the Ghana for. But we all know, say, there were 2 issues that led to that.
Yeah, for 2 minutes, we issues.
2 issues, like I said earlier. Gas pipeline, number 1. And number 2, so the fact that due to demand that are expanding beyond our generation capacity, now the here no bro the 80 so. You make out here say. So, over docuno 10 cities. Emphasize not 10 cities go to me no pe.
Baby crowd everybody no 7.
What the emphasize over docuno 100 cities. Ebe few for dinner there be say you mre aduane mbedi no. Na wa fa nipa more abegu fie ma say munipa ye 50. Sa docuno a friend say 100 cities no. A 20 pieces. And soon you pay 50 no. Okay. So on the no. Now, what the 2 energy sector no.
Now this year, ma'am.
Rollins buy if you remember self-help electrification project SHEP.
Yeah.
So SHEP no. Emma, so we are crossing baby na wa ko to post near the Kenya Bell. And yet chiramu ko baby bebre. In fact, before Rollins grand na northern sector upper water say upper ayini na Kenya ni wo. We only meet no upper east upper west
rural electrification the JJ did
Adaroma. And yet chiramu bebre ko foso be ya ne de ka ho. One more year no. Now sank ye nyina ya dwene ho say dokoro ne 20. And yes we 20. Says you go for the 5 abeka ho nti 25 nti 20 no ye che na you be anya ba ko ni o and yes I go for the 20 as abeka ho says 45 so ni meche nti say the ko be anya half ko ani nti kwambadi won ya make nti na o see adwene ho say o say the ko no ye dai ya pesika de ba de beto bi aka ho ye be bodo ko ni bi aka ho so ni meche no nti that is the difference between the doomsaw
okay
then and the doomsaw that we are experiencing.
All right.